What is the best hybrid of 2025? And how far can I hit them until I can't find a fairway? We're starting with a fairway at 25 yards wide and shrinking it down all the way to 1 yard wide. To find out what is the best hybrid for a club golfer in 2025. And these here are what the internet says are the top 5 hybrids of 2025. We have the GT2 from Titleist, the Ping G440, the Callaway Elite hybrid, we have the Qi35, and an interesting one here, the Srixon ZXi. And you know what? It's funny, I show one of the lads in the pro shop these 5 hybrids and said, don't tell me what your favourite is, I want to go and find out what mine is, and at the end when I finish filming this, I'll drop you a text and you can let me know what yours is. Put this in perspective, he plays at single figures, round about an 8 handicap, very, very good at golf. So it'll be interesting to get a real club golfer's opinion on these two. We're going to start with the Titleist GT2, and this has 2 movable weights here. I've got a 5 gram in the heel and a 3 gram in the toe. This is, if you're a bit of a slicer, a great option, putting more weight in towards the heel. This is a beautifully designed golf club, a minimalistic as you'd expect with Titleist, and in terms of looks, I like this one. The rules are simple. If the hybrid hits the fairway, it can move on to the next round. Every round, the fairway gets 4 yards smaller, and we're going to be looking at 4 categories. What hybrid looks the best, what hybrid has the best distance, what hybrid has the best dispersion, and the overall winner for 2025. We're starting off with a 25-yard fairway. I'm expecting all of the clubs to get through. First up, the Titleist. Oh yeah, 1 for 1. That's a beautiful launch, that. It is on the right edge, I have to say. 211-yard carry. That's not a bad start for the first hit. And it's interesting because I've tested every single one of these hybrids on their own, but never head to head. Moving into the second hybrid of the day, the Callaway Elite. Now, this was a little bit up the right, but a good shot and we found the fairway. The next 3 shots with the TaylorMade, the Srixon and the Ping all found the fairway. This means round 1 complete. We need to make this fairway 4 yards smaller. But because we're testing hybrids, we need to do a round from the rough. I just had to have a quick look at this data. Now after round 1, all clubs made it through, but the Ping G440 at 215 yards is the winner in distance so far. Now I know we're only 1 shot in, we're now hitting some from the rough. And the reason why we're hitting it from the rough, you're gonna use a hybrid from a multitude of scenarios, off the tee, off the short stuff, and out the rough. And you want it to perform in every single one of those scenarios. So first up, the Ping G440. This found the fairway, and the next 4 shots with each of the hybrids also found the fairway. I'm actually really surprised at this, that every single club has made it through the first 2 rounds. That was a 21-yard wide fairway, which is absolutely crazy. But you know what that means. We need to take this fairway down by 4 more yards. This is getting narrow. Let's jump back onto our fairway shots. I'm going to continue with the Ping G440. Now, interestingly, to its predecessor, this has a much thinner face. And Ping say this helped increase ball speed this year, and we're seeing that. And then from this top view on the crown, I do really like the minimalistic look with just a single dot, but the surface area, again, is bigger than its predecessor, the G430. I love the look of this club. I really do. Matte coloured clubs have to be my favourite. But what is not my favourite is the fact that this fairway now is 17 yards wide, which sounds wide, but when you look at it from back here, it looks insanely narrow. And just briefly going back over those hybrid shots, every single one of those hybrids, as you would expect, felt brilliant through the turf. I felt like it was cutting through the grass. It was doing exactly what it's designed to do. Get you out of trouble. Shot number 2 from the fairway now, Ping. I feel like this is under pressure, this club. Come on, keep coming round. Keep coming, keep coming. Get on the side of it. Whoa. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. That was a beautiful hit, and I mean, only just on the wind, the fact that it's coming off my right wing made it inside that fairway. She's through to the next round. One of the clubs you probably didn't expect to be in here was the Srixon ZXi. I've always been a big fan of Srixon golf clubs. I think they're very well made and very underrated. And I have to say, when you place this one down at the ball, it frames that head beautifully. I don't want to say it looks like other golf clubs, but it looks a little bit like an Adams, the way in which this top edge is straight and then quite a circular back edge to this golf club. One of the main features of this club this year was the fact that you had an adjustable hosel. You could loft it up and loft it down, which means, I guess if you're playing in the wind, you could take it out and loft it down. And if you're not playing in the wind and you wanted it to go a little higher, you had that option too. The question is though, will it make it through to the next round? Here we go, shot 2 from the fairway, shot 3 overall with this club. No! That was a right slap. We've got our first victim, guys. Oh, that's so annoying. I really love the look of this club. I had such huge high hopes for it. I think this could be the lad in the shop. I think this could be his favourite. I've got a hunch. Anyway, unfortunately, we have our first victim, the Srixon ZXi. You're out. Next up, the TaylorMade Qi10. And I have to say, this is the most futuristic looking. Probably my least favourite in terms of looks, if I'm picking these. As you probably realised, I like minimalistic. This, well, isn't the best looking, but can we find the fairway? Third shot away with this. That is a honey of a hit. Has to be the best hit of the day right now. After I just said, I don't like the look of it. Next up, the Callaway Elite. Now, I actually lofted this down to meet the loft requirements that we have with all the other hybrids. And we can do that because this is an OptiFit 4 hosel. And one thing that I really do like is the adjustable weights in this. I think for fine-tuning ball flight, stopping certain shots, slicers would set it up somewhere like this with the heavier weight towards the heel. People who are hooking the golf ball could put the weight out towards the toe. Now, some of you eagle-eye viewers will notice this funny contraption I have on here. Now, this is just called a Connex kit, and Scottsdale, who have all the stock, have very kindly lent me their kit. Ooh, yeah, that is a good-looking club down the ball. Really good. Anybody else agree with that? I just think, again, the framing of that. One thing that I would say is the fact that you have the adjustability on the bottom, the overall look of that hybrid there is a little bit on the smaller side. And maybe that would put a few people off. Okay, 17-yard wide fairway, Callaway Elite up. Wow, what a shot that is. I'm getting used to this. That is a little baby draw to the left half of that fairway. That's long. That is long. What a hit. That noise sounded pretty much like my driver. Finally, the Titleist GT2 fairway wood. This thing looks so minimalistic and will definitely suit a more lower handicap player because there are less alignment features on the top of this club. Unfortunately, we have another victim. This didn't hit the fairway. What a hit that was. How didn't that win? I must have hit it too good, almost like through the wind. I was just hoping it was gonna move on the wind. Oh. So that means out the challenge, the GT2 and the ZXi are gone. That leaves us these three heading into the next fairway. And you guessed it, it's coming in 4 more yards, down from 17 all the way to a 13-yard wide fairway. That's gonna look so narrow. Every time I do this, I think, why do I feel so nervous? Like, the fact that we're testing it, we're putting it into a competitive environment, I think this is the best way you could ever test a golf club. Out on the golf course, jeopardy, getting data, and it's interesting. We'll have a look at this data after this next round, but there is one distinct winner. Now, with this set of 5 that I found what the internet says are the best 5 this year, do you think there should be any other golf club in there? Okay, next up, and in the next round, the 4th round, where the looks insanely narrow, is the TaylorMade. And look at that there. Does anybody else think that looks really small? And I think it's the distinguishing difference between that carbon effect on the back and then that matte front. I know it sits in with what their driver lineup was this year, But yeah, definitely not my favourite in terms of looks. Oh, it's a brilliant shot, but I don't think it's gonna find the actual fairway, but not our fairway. Ah. That's such a good hit. We have another victim. I mean, it's still a really good shot. Goodbye, TaylorMade. And the next two just sailed it through, and these were some of the best shots I have hit all day up to this point. That means we have a head-to-head battle in this final showdown between the Callaway Elite Hybrid, mad adjustability, versus the Ping G440. Two absolute juggernauts. Both with a matte finish, one with incredible adjustability. This, on the Ping, you do have the adjustable loft sleeve, but no way near as much as the Callaway, and these weights I'm a huge fan of. We have the drone up, it's down there, so you will be able to see on what I think could be the penultimate challenge, because 9 yards wide, that's narrow. That is super narrow. We're gonna go with the Ping to start with. Here we go, Ping up first. 9 yards wide. This would be impressive. It's in. Come on, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, it's drifted. That is an incredible shot. I mean, that's 224 yard carry. That is the best of the day by an absolute country mile. Well, it's come down to this. Can the Callaway club clinch it? That wind makes this tough. That wind makes it really tough. Oh, it's the same as the Ping. We have a tie. We have a tie. Let's just finish on the side. We have a tie. The results are in. And I think it's best we start with dispersion, right? It has to be a tie. In terms of dispersion, both the Callaway Elite and the Ping G440 both made it through to the 9 yard wide fairway and just ever so slightly missed. So dispersion we have ticked off. In terms of distance, carry, the winner goes to the Ping G440, which I'm insanely surprised about. Total, however, narrowly is won by the Titleist GT2 with 228 yard total. Impressive, fair play, very good. Now, if we're just looking at some of the other data here, we have 141.7 ball speed. That was won by the Qi35. Club head speed was won by the Callaway Elite with a 98.1. And highest overall apex was the Ping G440, which I'm not surprised at. That is one of the most forgiving clubs out there on the market, and we know Ping are in that category. So we'd expect some high launch and some stopping power when you've got a hybrid in your hand. But what is impressive is the fact that the carry was up there. Looks, I'm gonna give it to Titleist. I just really like the minimalistic looks. I appreciate not a lot of people will like that, but I think it's a really good looking club with that glossy finish on top. My overall, before I give the shop a call, is, I think if you look at it like this, it has to go to the Ping. It was the longest, it had the best dispersion. Fair play. So, the average carry of 215 yards and in the mid 220s in terms of total distance, and making it through to the final round of the dispersion challenge, here is what I've crowned the best hybrid of 2025. It's funny, I've got the text message back here. Not the option I thought he would go for. TaylorMade. TaylorMade.